Hey crafty babes, Andrea here to share my July and August storyline chapters notebook. These are all personal notebooks. There's not a bunch of family stuff included in these. These are really photos of me, stories of me, things about me, my personal stuff. I keep my family stuff separate. But these are pages that I get to be super free with. I get to journal. I get to play with a lot of color and document things that happen in my life. And this is a Heidi Swapp storyline chapters notebook that I have covered. I only covered the front with this pattern paper from, I don't know, I think this is issue number 19. This was a summer issue from 2021. So let's get inside of this. I love starting my months with these 2x2s from Kelly Bangs Creative. She only did these in 2021, so they're still on her site if you want to go grab all of the entire year. If you've never grabbed them, they are so wonderful. I do hope to continue doing this kind of format to open up each month in my 2022 notebooks. So we will see how that works out. Here it is fully summer, so I'm having fun with the Felicity Jane. I think this was the July kit. Yeah, it was July. And so I've got this really fun one here of me being just fun with photos. With these cute red glasses. And then here, just documenting, like, I did this whole week where I wore patriotic things, like either patriotic colors, and it was the week leading up to 4th of July. And also this picture here of me getting my M&P shield, which is my concealed carry weapon, and just kind of like my first time holding it as it's in my house. Obviously you hold it when you buy it. But in the state of California, we have to wait, days, which is just ridiculous. We have to wait, after buying it before we can come pick it up. And so this was me just kind of holding it in my hand for the first time as an owner of this particular firearm. So that was fun. And then I used some stamps here from Carrie Bradford. She put out a small little 2x3 USA focus stamp. And I thought it was really perfect for me to just do that with this whole entire theme. July is also when I got into roller skating. So I have a lot of roller skating photos, but this was super fun to just have some documentation of me taking off and going and doing a little skate for one of the first times with these particular skates. And then it allowed me to just have some freedom over here to do a little cluster with some fun florals. And actually all of this is from Kelly Bangs too, from just different sets and collections that she's put out, but they happen to go really well together. I loved kind of taking the skating thing and turning it into like learning things. So I used some obviously more Kelly Bangs stuff. You're going to see a lot of stuff from her. I am on her design team, and she's also one of my very best friends. And so utilizing her stuff is kind of a no-brainer because we have a very similar styles and her stuff is super fun. But she put out a pep rally this year or last year. So I used some of those things like this class schedule and just some composition notebooks. So it was really fun to have. So yeah, just used a bunch of her stuff. This page was so much fun to do because I had these 5 photos and they don't really work very well. Just 5 photos. What are you going to do with that? Right. And so I really, really loved finding out that I could like stack them on top of each other to make sort of like these mock 3x4 cards. So to me, this is a 3x4 section. I can do whatever I want in that section, right? If this is, sort of like a grid, Unpocket page situation. So I kind of like to break my pages up into these sections. It really helps to like pull color into the right places, and then it doesn't feel so messy. If things are kind of like lined up for me, then it feels at least like there's a purpose to where things live. So I just had so much fun. These are colors that are not typical for me, but because of my outfit I was really able to kind of focus on the neutrals and pull some of that pink in. Really, it's just, because it was probably from this card that I felt like it needed to be pulled out. So yeah, this is super fun. And like I tucked a little sticker in here and let things hang off the edge, things hanging off the edge here. Stamping off of things is like really super fun. So anyway, this is really one of my favorite pages. These are cards from For Keeps Kits. This is a company by Kelly Rich. She is also Forever and a Day _create. And she started making printables last year, and I just adored her little art and all of her cute, whimsy kind of hand-drawn things. Oh my gosh, so much fun. So I paired them with this little photo shoot I did of this bandana headband situation that I made. And I was feeling cute. I was feeling cute this day, and the colors worked, and it was really super fun. So something that I did on this page to kind of draw everything in is I actually hand drew these borders around all of these white cards. And then on this card, I created it. It was basically just the ledger with these washi tape stapled. And then I created this little cluster. So I did the handmade in just a regular alpha stamp, but then I made these little marks next to them. And then this little mark to kind of like pull in the hand drawn feel that was already part of this whole page. Here is my 10 on 10 for July, and this was really fun because I had never done like a big title like this before. And the reason that I ended up doing this was because I just kind of ran out of, I didn't like run out, I'm never going to run out of supplies, but I just felt like there were only so many cards and colors that went with the photos. So I ended up deciding to just use this whole entire row for the title. And the title was because for some of these 10 on 10s, I was choosing a specific theme. And so for July, it was up close. So every photo that I took was like a macro shot or a very close up shot of something versus like standing back or having a mixture. So it is really super fun to be able to have kind of a theme when you're doing your 10 on 10s or any kind of small photo project like this. So you're constantly thinking about that when you're documenting. And so it was just really, I loved this prompt. It was, the 10 on 10 doesn't necessarily come with prompts, and there's nothing that forces you to do a prompt or have a specific prompt each month. I was making them up as I went. And so this is just the one that I chose for this particular month. More skating photos. And I had so much fun with these colors because, hello, it's pink and teal. Like, how much more cool can it get? So I had this photo of all of my favorite things that I did this cute flat lay of. It worked really well with these photos, and I got to use some of the really super fun, bright, colorful papers from Felicity Jane. I just had a blast with this page. It was a little confusing trying to figure out how to fit every photo here is a different size. This is a 3x3. This is a 3x4. This is I don't even know, smaller. I don't know what the dimensions are of these ones that I print. And then you've got these two that I basically screenshot from my videos. And it was so awkward to try to figure out how to fit everything on here, but I figured it out. I am a master of utilizing space. And so that was really fun. And then of course, this cute little flip up. I hadn't done that in a long time, but I really loved being able to have a little peek at the photo or the pattern underneath with that color kind of popping off. Here is another super fun page, an Unpocket page with different sized photos. So the more I work in this size book, the more I feel a little bit more comfortable with what I can do with the space. And so I know that, I have this extra space here if I've got a skinnier photo. And so I put them each on the other sides of the page from each other so that I could balance out that empty space and do something really fun with each of them. So here I just stamped July with some stars, made a list of what my outfits were like at this point. And then just a little bit of journaling with just some cards, bold colors, and yeah, super fun, super fun. Another Unpocket page documenting some of the merch that I made to go along with the summer issue, and then some of the cards from that issue and embellishments and stamps. Like, this was just a whole issue number 19 situation here. So this was super fun. It is very fun using the products that I make in my scrapbooks. Like, the reason that I create is because there are things I want to see out there, and there are things I would love to use. I do obviously think about what other people want to use, but I have to like the stuff that I make, or there's really no passion behind it. So when I can create something like this that I have a ton of fun making, it helps me, hopefully makes me, a good enough designer so that you guys like to also decorate and document with the stuff that I make. So that's always the goal. But I had fun creating with all of this stuff. This is a page unfinished. So I had a ton of photos from this trip, and I got them all kind of laid out to how I wanted them grouped together. Like when we went to Freddy's, when I got to Colorado, that's one section. When we went skating with Jen, when Alyssa and I worked out, when we got our tattoos together, and then when we took pictures with the kids and each other before I left. So I do actually want to go back and finish this. It's one of those that it felt heavy at the time. It felt like I just didn't have the energy at the moment. So I was like, let me just get the photos glued down where they need to go, and I'll go fill it in later. And I totally will. So to me, this is not complete. But for us here today, it will be a completed album. Hello, August. This is the start to my August section. And actually, what's really cool is it happens to be right in the center of the book. Not really sure I noticed that before. I actually dug through my stash, and everything, all of the washi tape and die cuts here are all from my stash. They were not any new product that I had brought into the house, except for these are the stamps from a couple of my stamps from different issues, and a Carrie Bradford stamp for the journaling, and then Kelly Bangs and her 2x2 squares. So it was really fun to pull from my stash and find things that went together. So I really enjoyed that. I should do that more often. I think we all should. There is some hidden journaling on the other side of this tag. It's just kind of a very personal page about some things that were going on in our house during this time. But a couple of things to just point out is just this fun title situation where I basically just fussy cut a bunch of stuff from, I believe this was called Travel Time, and this was another Illustrated Faith Kelly Bangs printable set. I stamped some clouds back here to make it look like a sky, like a mountain, and then did another little cluster down here with this. I just did like a little bit of a ruffling here with some fabric that felt good. So this is, this is a really fun page, but that's all I'm going to share about it. Here is my 10 on 10 for August. This was another situation that I did some pre-planning ish about the colors. So I knew that this was going to be my outfit for the day. And so the things that I tried to capture, I tried to make sure that they were of the same color scheme so that they had either pinks or yellows or greens in them. Because these were my favorites, I really could choose what I was documenting. And so like this washi tape, it's got a lot of color in it, but you see the yellow and it pops out of here. You see the pink and it, it makes a lot of sense. And so this was a really super fun page to make. I absolutely love this grid style. And what I started doing was actually I made myself a template in my photo template that I use to print all my photos out. And I just made these small little Polaroid squares so that I can just insert my photo. It becomes a square, and then it's got a small gray line around each of these that I use to trim. That way I have the option of adding some journaling here or numbering it or kind of adding whatever I want. So in this situation, I'm using just, you know, the photos, and then I'm just using a little stamp with the numbers and writing in my own journaling. Here are two different pages, so these don't go together, but this was just a little photo shoot that I did. I was wearing makeup on a specific day and the light was great, so I went for it. And it was not a good time. Like, August was not a great time. So some of these pages, actually kind of all of these pages, are a little bit on the like downer bummer side. I don't like my pages to be like that, but I also don't like to sugarcoat like in my books. But I also don't get very deep as far as the journaling and stuff, because honestly, I don't know. There's just something about, like, I don't necessarily want all of my feelings out there for, you know, future generations to see. If things were hard and I'm saying certain things, but I don't know. I don't get too specific about this particular issue. But this was super fun to do because I really liked the layering and just kind of putting die cuts on top of the photos. And a lot of these are from Citrus Twist. I forget, I think it was September maybe or October that these are from. I loved this one. This is not a bummer photo or page at all. This is super fun. I love big, giant stamping situations. Like, it's my thing. It's my jam. So it was really fun to just kind of collage in, or like, I don't know if there's a word for, like, when you're filling in the little nooks and crannies of your titling or your words. I love, like, to me, this is like the perfect little nook for something, or under here. And that's why the photo sits where it sits. So that kind of stuff really makes me feel super creative. But that is just one of my very favorite photos, or very favorite pages, because I like big titles. It was super easy, a lot of stamping, and just super easy to throw some little hearts on there and cute pictures of my doggo. Probably another one of my very favorite pages, because I almost died when I saw Allie Edwards have this stamp as an option in the December daily products this year, or in 2021. So I jumped on it as soon as I could. And I had just done this really cute manicure with some stars. And so it was perfect to, like, document all the beautiful stars. I just love it. It was super simple. And then I stitched around the edge too, which I don't think I've ever done that before. Like, not in these notebooks. And I do stitch on it first and then glue it in. And because it's got stitching, my normal, like, tape runner wouldn't really hold with the stitching. And so I used score tape underneath for these. And then this little collage over here, I had all these, like, fun yellow colors. And so I ended up kind of getting them all together and just doing this really fun page with a bunch of florals from Kelly Bangs, and this little graphic that I don't know, probably screenshot it from Instagram. So dog hair everywhere. But yeah, this was fun. I just actually completed these pages recently because I was trying to finish up this book and trying to, move through 2021. By the way, right now, as I'm recording this, one of my favorite squirrels just showed up in my backyard. He is a big, fat gray squirrel. He is adorable, and his name is Merlin, and he is hopping around my yard, probably looking for one of the acorns that he buried in the spring. So, because he is digging in my grass right now, and I will allow it because I like him. Okay. Anyway, I wouldn't normally gravitate toward this tone of red. It's a little too deep, but I had this photo and I had these brand new printables from Studio Calico. I forget which months they're from because in January I bought some of the older sets of digital cards, because I didn't buy them at the time that they came out. So I really don't know what months they came from, but they were perfect for the color in my shirt here. And just the tone of them was just so wonderful. And so I kind of just took advantage of using that red and the kind of the muted pink and a little bit of the orange, because it just felt, just felt like it went pretty well together. Just kind of rough, just kind of summing it all up for August. Rough. So not my favorite page at all, but I wanted to get it documented. I wanted to get it down, and that's just what that is. This was fun. I was not expecting it to turn out like this, but my challenges were that I had one photo and then 3 graphics that I wanted to include, because they are like the journaling that I would journal to go with this day and just in general. And so I used, this was an older printable from the Lily Pad. The Lily Pad does these things called monthly memories. I think I'm getting that wrong, but it's like a collaboration where 4 or 5 different designers collaborate to make one big giant scrapbooking kit, like a digital kit. So it's got cards and embellishments and all kinds of stuff, but it's from a bunch of different designers together. And so this was, I believe that I grabbed the January 2021. I believe this was from January 2021, because I don't get them every month. I just kind of look at them each month and see if there's something that I would like to use. And I really loved the contrasting colors and the tone on tone and the neutral, because then I could pair it with anything. And I ended up pairing it with just a little bit of green here and there because of this photo right here. So that's about it for that page. I had to document this really fun manicure. I mean, I spend a lot of time on my nails. No, I don't spend a lot of time on my nails. I enjoy doing my nails. I do them every week. I love the nail art. I love doing all of that stuff. I love a fresh manicure, and I just have fun. It's just another way to be creative and tangible with my hands and create things. And I had started printing some of my single photos in a 3x3 instead of a 2x2. And so I'm like, well, what do I do with this now? I've got this big giant photo. So I just popped it right there in the middle, because it worked out to where it didn't cover up, like a place for journaling or the title. And then I just kind of worked around it and stamped with some extra wool stuff to make a little bit of color go in the different places. So yeah, this was super fun. And then, another Unpocket page. I just had this leftover photo and this little meme that went together. And to me, it was, about me loving what I do, and that I just didn't want to settle for a paycheck anymore. And now I get to create fun things for people. It's been my dream for a while. So I just really loved that. And I'd been hanging on to this little quote for a long time. So I used the January digital kit from Felicity Jane, the January 2022 kit. She had to put out a digital kit because of shipping delays. And so we got a digital kit, which is so much fun because I got everything right away and I just printed everything and it was super fun. And that is the end of, oh no, wait, look at that. It's a recap. It is an August recap. Yep, this was just like all the leftover photos. They felt like they really went together. They had a lot of green and yellow and red in them. And this was really a warm-up page. I hadn't crafted, I hadn't scrapbooked in about a week and a half. And I sat down and was like, I'm not feeling this, but I just kind of went for it. And it was basically my warm-up page. And then I ended up creating all these end pages. So I like a good warm-up page, it really helps you kind of get those weird wiggles out. And then you end up creating really fun, colorful, magical pages. So that, my friends, is a look inside July and August in my Heidi Swap Storyline Chapters notebook. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you being here and loving on me and supporting this channel and me on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, @RetroHipMama, I post a lot over there. I'm there a lot. because I love it, because things are pretty and I like pretty squares. And I love seeing you and connecting with you over there as well. So thank you again so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.